Hey everyone, today I just wanted to bring a couple of impressions of the Logitech G602 mouse. I've had this mouse for a couple months now and it's not new by any means, but it really is just a sweet design. Someone who used the G500 for years and years and years, my thumbnail's looking a little... Don't tear your thumbnails, people. Get clippers. Anyway, as someone who used the G500 for a long time, I really love that mouse, but going back to it after trying this slick puppy out, it was a night and day difference. I really couldn't go back. This thing sits in my hand perfectly. I've got pretty small hands. I'm a 24-year-old male. It might look big on camera, but they're small to average sized, and my wrists are pretty dainty, so take that as you will, but there's plenty left over if I had bigger hands. I really like to palm my mouse. I don't really do the claw. I mean, sometimes if I'm really into a Dota match, I'll just kind of subconsciously move up there, but generally like this better. So first thing I really noticed about the mouse was the design and the really angular points that we have with the buttons. But after experimenting with it for a while, I realized that I love that I went with wireless. For one, the battery life is excellent. I always have it on performance mode, this button right here. If you move it up, it's on performance mode. If you move it down, it goes green, and that's endurance mode. So they say that's for, if you're doing work with Photoshop or just word processing, to put it on endurance mode and you'll get more battery life. I honestly never do that. I find that the performance mode with the highest rated DPI, which are these two buttons here, so you can move the DPI up or down, and then you can set those preset stopping points wherever you want. But anyway, on performance mode, I love the DPI at the highest. Feels good. As soon as I put it down on endurance, it feels like there's a little bit more give and it's not as accurate. So generally I just leave it on performance mode all the time. You've got 6 buttons here. A couple of them are already set. For instance, if I hit this back one, G6, back bottom right, that just checks the battery. But you can set forward, backward on your web page. You can set them to things on Photoshop. You can set them custom profiles for basically anything in any game you want. I mean, I'm sure you've already done your research on your mouse and you know all that, so I'm not going to go into all that stuff. But yeah, this mouse is really awesome. This has a sort of semi-rubberized, I mean, not rubber, it's harder. This feels like a Glock. It's like a hard polymer. So if you've ever held like a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P, it honestly feels just as hard and just the same. It even scuffs up like it. It's really good. Feels really great. Up here is more of just a kind of brushed plastic with a little groove pattern, but thing feels awesome. Takes 2 AA batteries. I get normally like a couple months before I have to switch, and I've just got a Duracell rechargeable battery pack, or rechargeable batteries that I just replace in and out. The one downside of this mouse, and the only downside I venture to say, is that it doesn't have the G500 mouse wheel click. So on the G500, there's a button that you can click and you can go from free scroll to this kind of like segmented scrolling, like boom, 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 boom. Like, it just kind of breaks the scrolling up. I love on the G500 and how on a lot of Logitech mice, you can click that button and then I can just free scroll this mouse wheel. Can't do it on this one. I can still go left and right with the mouse wheel, so those are buttons as well, but that was kind of a drawback for me. I love switching, games have it like this, and then web pages just kind of free scroll. Not enough to detract from the fact that this mouse is excellent. And that's really all I got to say about it. I mean, there's plenty of resources out there that will probably tell you the same. Thing's awesome, and that's just my 2 cents on it. If you're interested in picking it up, use the link below, and I'll get a small percentage off that for referring you. If not, it's no big deal. Have a good day, everyone.